always changing how they do this. Anyway, I thought it would be fun. I go on call in about 2 weeks for some clients, and I have a lighter call load right now, but I prep all the same no matter if I'm busy or taking it a little bit easy. So I thought we would go through what's in my doula bag. And again, I'm just kind of refreshing my bag. I'm getting ready to be on call in about 2 weeks, and so a lot of people want to know what do doulas do, and I find that showing you what's in my bag kind of helps you understand what I do, and if you're a parent, it might give you some ideas of what to bring also. So this is my bag. I love it so much. Hi, Desiree. I love this bag. It's from Your Doula Bag, so yourdoulabag.com if you're a birth worker or just you love birthy things. That's great. I've got some pins. One thing in here that is very important to me is I always carry my name badges. So I have this from my certifying agency, and then I got this also from Your Doula Bag. It's a little name tag I like to wear. I feel like doulas are always on the line if we don't want to look like we're a nurse or a hospital staff, right? Because we're not medical. But I find that in the hospital especially, everyone has a name tag. It's kind of like how you know who someone is. And I find that this has been very helpful. People look at in this and they say, oh, hey, Victoria, you're the doula. It's a good conversation starter. And it's just nice. It kind of like blends in, if that makes sense. So got that stuff. In here, I've got, oh, these are sweet. I'll show you guys. I need to get some more of these. After the baby's born, I try to write a little note to the parents. So I got little boy-girl postcards, happy birthing day. That's kind of fun. So that's kind of my light stuff. Okay, let's talk about tools. I'm going to showcase another business, the Oxytocin Emporium. I just got this rice sock from the Oxytocin Emporium. They had a booth at the Evidence-Based Birth Conference. I love them. All of their stuff is amazing. It's an Etsy shop. They're based out of Brevard, North Carolina, I think. So this rice sock, you just heat it up, stays hot, obviously, for wherever mom might need that. It says, I've got your backside. You guys, I'm always up for a good pun or a good birth geeky thing. So my rice sock, that's just wonderful because especially, I don't know, sometimes I usually find moms want more cold than heat, but this is just nice, you know, if you're having some muscle pain for back labor, or sometimes, you know, usually it's on the back or the hips somewhere. My last sock, fun fact, had water break on it. So they were soaked with amniotic fluid and I had to throw it away. So that's why I got a new one. I also got this from the Oxytocin Emporium. This is super cool. It's probably, oh man, it's reading the words backwards for you, but it's labor intensity scale. So you know kind of how they have those in the hospital, like the sad face or the happy face, and you say where you are. I really like that this kind of does that same concept, but it's using the moon, like phases of the moon. And it kind of explains things like you might be excited or anxious. You can walk and talk through your surges. That's kind of like early, I feel good, you know. When it gets a little more intense, it says things like your surges are closer together. You may vocalize more and be in the zone. You might feel ready to quit and need reassurance. So I just kind of like how the Oxytocin Emporium not rebranded, but gave some new language for that kind of, how's your pain? 1 to 10, because birth really is not a medical procedure, right? It is a life event. It is transformative for the mom, for the dad, for the baby. You know, it just kind of is it's an event, kind of like a wedding. You know, we wouldn't say on a wedding, how nervous or excited are you? 1 to 10. It's like, I'm a lot of things. And I really just love how this reframes it. And I'm going to start putting these in and just kind of gently placing it next to the hospital one, or just putting it somewhere so mom can just kind of see, like, this is normal. You know, there's a range of emotions. So I kind of like having that tool. More practical tools. I have a fan because labor is hard work and a lot of moms will get very sweaty. So actually, I have this out. I might laminate this. That would be a little stronger. I got this in my childbirth educator training. That was fun. So fan for getting hot. I have a pump. I do have a birth ball that I bring with me. Sometimes most hospitals around here have birth balls, but it's always nice just to have a way to give a little more air in there if you need it. So pump for my birth ball. And again, I usually always have my birth ball with me. I may not always bring it in because I don't want to come in like a pack mule. I'll leave it in the car, and then if we need it, we'll go from there. I have got, yes, this is good. I need to pull out and refill. I usually carry coconut oil. And as you can see, the coconut in the summer, or back when we had this, not summer, see, we had like crazy weather. It felt like summer a couple weeks ago, and all of this melted in my car. So I need to get some more coconut oil. I use that for massages. So that's good. Set that out and refill. I also carry tennis balls. This is wonderful. And I put them, I have this little canvas bag, my old Tom's bag. This is great for massage, so you can use them individually. I like to put them in a bag. Sometimes I've had moms like to just rest this on their back or their hips and kind of roll it around. It's just a nice break for your hand. Dad loves doing this too often, so tennis balls are a great addition to any birth bag. My favorite is coming up. If you followed me for a while, you'll know I talk all the time about soft lighting. So I usually, when I'm prepping to go on call, I'll usually do like a battery check on all my lights, make sure I have new lights in there. This is another, it was a tough, apparently there was just an inferno in my car because my battery operated candles like melted. They look like real candles, I guess, but they work, so there's that. So I've got my soft lighting. I just kind of check them all. I won't do all of these here for you, but you know, I just kind of make sure everything that is good. If you're watching and you have any questions about any of this, let me know. Leave a comment. I see a couple of you on here. Hi, Susanna. Hi, Desiree. Hi, everyone else who's watching. Tina, is that you? No, that's Desiree. Anyway, hello now and in the future when you're watching this. I also carry, this is not, so Rebozo, if you haven't heard of that, it's a traditional Mexican shawl that indigenous cultures use. There's a long kind of history. It's really beautiful. Kind of cultural piece from Mexico and Central America. So this is not an actual rebozo, but there's kind of techniques you can use with sheets or scarves. I've often found sometimes hospital sheets work really well, but for me, I just always keep, this is just literally one of my old scarves I kind of keep in my bag. At a birth I was at, actually, I think you can see this. This is the birth where we had this wonderful photographer, and the mom was so kind, the photographer was so kind and let me use photos from their birth. So actually, I'll post a link to that YouTube video below. I kind of walk you through a birth. I had the greatest success there helping the mom. She was really wanting leverage and pushing. So we kind of took a scarf, looped it over a push or a bar, what is it called? Kind of a push bar in the hospital. Sometimes they have a little bar that goes over the bed, and we just held it up there and pulled. The partner or the doula could kind of also hold one end while mom's like pulling on the other. That was great. So definitely, I've been debating, like, I don't really know if I need to keep this in there because sometimes you can just use other tools around. But since then, definitely, I liked having just that handy. It's a little easier to handle than like a sheet. Hi, Tori, a fellow doula. Hello, hello. So yeah, scarf, not an actual rebozo. Perhaps one day I will buy one or get one gifted to me, but I've just kind of always kept this in there. You can also do some belly sifting to help reposition baby with a rebozo, especially if they're in a funny position or labor's long. And I've had moms too, honestly, you can just kind of loop this around the belly and tie a knot either in the front or the back, and a lot of people find that's very supportive. I also love, speaking of tennis balls, you can tie like a scarf or bozo around the belly and then put a tennis ball, especially in the back, for some constant counter pressure, especially if there's back labor. I found that really useful. Yeah, so moving on. Hi guys, please leave questions if you have any questions. Again, on my soft lighting, I have tons of lights. I will not bore you by checking all of them right now. The next thing I carry, this has been very interesting and useful to me, learning more about spinning babies. I got their Spinning Babies Quick Reference Guide, and I really enjoyed Spinning Babies training. I want to go back and kind of almost like go through it again. I think I learned, my mind was so blown, like when I went to my session, and I'm like, I want to go back slower, or like go consult with someone to go through things more slowly. But having this guide has been very helpful because it helps you kind of troubleshoot, if this is happening, the baby's probably still high, it needs to engage. If this is happening, the baby might be stuck in the mid-pelvis. Here's how we make room. So it's very useful. Spinning Babies Guide. Highly recommend it. On that same note, these are free, actually. These labor, this is from Lamaze. Yes, 8 labor positions to help labor progress. These aren't anything kind of not, especially if you're used to birth, if you've watched a lot of birth videos, these won't be novel to you, but I have found this helpful just to have out for kind of inspiration, encouragement. I've had, just having it out, you kind of can look and like, oh yeah, we haven't tried, hands and knees yet. We'll try that. Sometimes dads and nurses, it just kind of seeing, I think having a visual of upright birth, especially in a hospital, is just really useful because the idea is just there, right? We see all the birth pictures, moms are lying in bed, hooked up to everything. Just having some literal pictures in the room of like, look at this mom, she's walking around, everything's great, is good. On that same note, because I'm an evidence-based birth instructor, I can teach the evidence-based birth childbirth class, which we just had our first session yesterday. It was so great. Acupressure training is part of that. So I have loved having my acupressure quick guide laminated. It goes through the points. You can use in labor, for calming anxiety, nausea, vomiting. You can use, this point. And if we're trying to get contractions to come closer together, use that point. This has been very helpful. Again, I just like having it out. And, I just heard my family get home. I was stealing a quiet moment. And another thing I just kind of like to keep out are this handout from Birth Monopoly. Can you hear my child crying? I don't even know who that is. They were at a friend's house with my husband. They might have come home. But anyway, this is from Birth Monopoly, the Empowered Consumer Communication in the Hospital. This is free if you go to birthmonopoly.com. And it has just little, kind of like a quick start guide of, hey, when you go to the hospital, introduce yourself, set the tone. Here, Kristen literally gives you words you can use, like, my partner is scared and I don't want them to be upset. What can we do? Or, thank you so much for that idea. We just really need some time to talk. Again, I find it helpful for myself, for the parents, just to have this out. Sometimes when I have these out, it's almost like a little education session because nurses or doctors, midwives, whoever will kind of peek at it or look at it if they have a second. So I just kind of leave this out. You can see that from Birth Monopoly. That handout has been very helpful. All of our handouts are great. Hi! I told you, my husband just peeked in. If you hear my daughter crying, I promise you, she's okay. My husband is with her. This is real life. I'm also wearing pajama pants, just so you know. Oh gosh. But I will try to speed a little, so you might need to finish soon. Also, just for other doulas, always keep your, hopefully that's a thumbs up or a laugh, because you know what I'm talking about. Other doulas, always keep your brochures. I have my business cards in there, just little things. It's happened several times where someone has been like, I've never met a doula, do you have information? I do have information in my bag. Always have water, way to be hydrated. A client gave me this. It's so cool. It's oxytocin, like the chemical makeup with this little cup. So doulas always stay hydrated. I have some food sensitivity, so I always keep food that I can eat. I definitely need to restock my food. I feel like I almost bring more food than birth tools with me, to be honest with you, because food is fuel. And I know there are lots of birth little tips and tricks, and there's doodads you can add in your doula bag, but I've just found over time, if I'm there, present as I can be, hydrated, nourished, if I'm my best self, that's when I'm most useful to clients, taking my head, my hands, my heart with me, and that's just really, I do keep a light doula bag for that reason. I'm just I'm here, let me serve you and take care of myself. And most every doula, if you're watching, I know there's some doulas here, you will all know why you have a personal bag. So there's pads, there's a head wrap, there's some ibuprofen, because let's be real. There's some instant coffee that's actually good. There's a backup, if you wear glasses. I have my backup glasses in my doula bag because you never know when you're going to need it. Or, the last thing I want is to be at a birth and have a glasses emergency and not be able to see. Looks like, see, this is why I go through this. Looks like I need to go back to our health food store and get some more honey sticks. Honey sticks are really great in labor. For mom, I've had dads use honey sticks too. It's just nice, a quick kind of hit of some sugar. Obviously, eating and drinking in labor is a whole thing. I think if, evidence shows that if mom's hungry, eat and drink as much as you need. It's totally fine. if that's what you desire to do. But I do find sometimes later in labor, especially like in pushing, mom doesn't really want to eat. But if you're getting tired or it's been a long time and you just need that little oomph, honey sticks are great. Of course, the hospital, they usually have things like Jello or orange juice, but I just like keeping something on hand. Or again, at any point in labor, I'm always trying to encourage moms to eat, but sometimes they don't want to, but they'll take a honey stick. So just anything to kind of keep that fuel going. And then, of course, last little things, just some personal items, toothbrush, deodorant, all that good stuff. Because doulas, I just keep it in a little bag like this. So when I need to excuse myself, I try not to use the client's bathroom. That's just a me thing. Unless they specifically are kind of like, why did you leave to go to the bathroom? Just use this. Then I would use it. But typically I try to keep that space as the client's. But it's nice to have all of my personal things in here so I can just kind of grab it and go. I don't have to lug my whole bag again. I don't want to be a packed mule. I want to try to be efficient in and out. Got it, Mom. Oh, hi, Caitlin. Caitlin loved the honey sticks. And Caitlin, I was showing them the scarf, and I talked about your video I'll be showing how we use the scarf over the squat bar, the push bar, the squat bar, pulling it and holding it. So that's fine. There's the client who inspired all of this. So that's what's in my doula bag. Again, I keep it pretty light, but I think that being a doula is what's in your head and what's in your heart and what's in your hands. And so, I will always be interested in seeing new tools and adding them. But at the end of the day, especially for new, that was one thing my trainer, Robin Weiss, kind of put into us, is that there are cool things you can use, things that will add to the experience, things that will make it easier for you to give support. But at the end of the day, it's like, what are you bringing? The benefit of a doula is having that person there. So don't think that because you don't have tons of tools or tons of fancy this or that you're not valuable. You bring a lot of value. And moms listening too, I know a lot of times partners might feel the same way. Like, you think about, what do I want in my hospital bag? Bring things that keep you comfortable, but at the end of the day, it's kind of really about the people who are there with you, making sure that person is supported and they're able to support you. Does that make sense? I see all these lists and kind of like, get your essential oils, get this and that. Those are all great, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have them. Your presence makes a difference. Your partner's presence makes a difference. That's just kind of where I fall. So, all good, Caitlin. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad the scarf was helpful. And Tori, another doula in Lexington area, she's fabulous. Mama Bear Doula Service is her business. She says she keeps a fabric baby carrier in the bag. That's a great idea too. Probably a woven one, Tori, I'm guessing, just for that strength. But yeah, anything like that, those are great. There's tons of uses. I can think of tons of ways you would use those. So I'm glad that was helpful, Caitlin, to you. And another good tip, you can use a scarf, you can use a hospital sheet, you could use like a baby carrier. So yeah, lots of things. That's in my doula bag. Thanks for packing with me. It was good to go through. I see what I needed to add and restock before I go on call in another 2 weeks. After a nice little December off with the family. So anyway, thanks you guys for watching. Leave any comments if you're watching this later. And it was fun to hang out with you tonight. Bye.